I've got the Chief Executive of Whistleblowers UK, Georgina. Thanks for joining us today. And I'm really obviously intrigued on what you do, because it sounds like, things are going on all the time about whistleblowing, but you come into the Isle of Man, you're engaging with the Select Committee over here. So tell me about this.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm a founder member of Whistleblowers UK and was made the Chief Executive in 2015. And since then, what we've been doing is providing help, information and support to whistleblowers. Initially, it was in the UK, but it's grown to being all around the world now. More recently, we've been contacted by whistleblowers in the Isle of Man, in fact, over the last 2 years. And there's been quite a number of people who've come forward, and we've been delighted to be able to offer them some help.
Right, because there's a very high profile case that I think it's resolved now, but otherwise things are going on behind the scenes all the time, are there? There's people coming to you, stuck for how to deal with a situation they can't deal with themselves.
I think you'll probably be very aware that whistleblowing is a really challenging thing for people, because most people are just doing their job and they don't realise that they may have blown the whistle until they suddenly find that they are being retaliated against. Yes. And at that point, they look for help. And in a small place like the Isle of Man, I think they struggle. They worry that their friends and neighbours will find out about things. And these are people who are real assets to their business, their company. They're diligent. They want their company to succeed, and they don't want everyone to know about it. So they have started looking outside of the island for again, just for general information, help and support. The rules are slightly different here to the ones in the UK, but equally, I would say they're flawed in the same way that the ones in the UK are flawed, because they don't protect people against retaliation. The only redress that people have are through the employment tribunals and in terms of compensation. Most people don't really want compensation when they set out. What they want is justice. They want the issue that they raised, be it child abuse or financial fraud or cover-ups of corruption, to be investigated. And that's what drives them. The only time money comes into it to dispel all of those myths is when they lose their job, because you cannot live on air. Goodwill and good meaning do not keep a roof over your head.
What sort of cases? I know not any details, but is it government you're particularly over here, or is it private sector, or what?
No, it's both. It's across all sorts of sectors, and in some cases, it's people just sort of sounding out. What happens if, or I've got a friend that, and we're happy with those, because what it means is people are actually more aware of whistleblowing and understand what it is and what the concept of it is. And we encourage people in the first instance to look for their terms and conditions in their handbooks, look at their whistleblowing policies, look at any other things that the firm has put in place, any mechanisms to be able to get some other advice. They can come back to us at any time.
And it's confidential?
What we do is absolutely confidential. We don't even ask people's name or where they work. We'll talk them through the scenario in the facts that they give us.
So, forgive me, but a basic scenario, somebody in an office finds out that something shouldn't be happening that way. They report it to their line manager. The line manager doesn't take it up, but in fact then sort of sidelines that person. Is that roughly what we're talking about? That is the sort of thing we're talking about. And what we've done is we've done a lot of analysis of the cases that we've dealt with over the last 5 years or so, and we have found something that we've described as a cycle of abuse. And we set that out in our report that we've done for the All Party Parliamentary Group for Whistleblowing. Yeah.
And we were actually asked to be the Secretariat for it, and that's chaired by Stephen Kerr and Baroness Kramer in Westminster. And I appreciate that's different to the Isle of Man, but it's obviously one of the reasons that the Select Committee here realised that there's something going on. They're doing a review of the whistleblowing policies in the Isle of Man, and they're really keen to see what we're doing. And I'm rather hoping that with the Isle of Man being a small island and more agile perhaps than Westminster is, that they may actually beat us to it and get something on the statute before we do. But
so positive interaction going on there with Julie Edge and that's the committee, right?
That's right. Julie Edge is the chair of the Select Committee for Whistleblowing.
So you're having powwows with her?
Well, not powwows. I've actually been invited across twice to meet the committee and to talk them through. The first time was a few months ago, and I also met with a selection of business members led by Tim Bowles, and in the Manx Museum, and I talked to them about the issues around whistleblowing, and I told them about my history and being arrested and a few other things that are the extremes of whistleblowing. Oh, so
you've been on the sharp end of this?
Yeah, I have actually. Yes, I'm a whistleblower as well, but you probably don't think that's all a bit boring now.
Well, share us the highlights. I mean, you obviously hit a brick wall, did you, when you tried to do it?
Yeah, actually, while I was running Whistleblowers UK, we were helping some whistleblowers at a school, and the police decided to arrest me. And we were doing, I say it lightly, but it's a very serious matter. We were exposing allegations of very significant child abuse, sexual abuse of children. And the police, the local authorities and others in Kent, where the school is, were all saying, nothing to see here. These are just, and to quote them, I'm an effing bored witch housewife. So they sent their riot squad round, the police dressed in their riot gear, 7 of them with their incident van and a police car and a unmarked car. Yeah, absolutely. I was arrested for handling stolen goods, threats of the Official Secrets Act, and also the Data Protection Act. I was on bail for 9 months. I went to Crown Court and I was found not guilty.
And that's quite an area, this is the stress it can bring on to people who have done what they think is the right thing, suddenly thinking that they're on the outside of this and they're the ones that are being gunned at, right?
Absolutely, and that's why we talk in our report very much about this area of a cycle of abuse, and by explaining to people what might happen, being sort of forewarned is forearmed, and our organisation provides help to people to anticipate that. And we take the mantra that it's best to say to people, I may have done something right. I'm a human being. I'm fallible. Done something that's not right. I'm fallible. I'm a human being too. But you can look at me. But after you've looked at this, these issues that I've raised have triggered events against me. I'm not prepared to tolerate that. And we are quite determined in that. What I find with the whistleblowers we work with is when we stand shoulder to shoulder to them, I'm not going in front of you. We're not Boadicea. I'm not Boadicea, and my team of volunteers aren't the same. What we're here to do is support people, because this is about empowering. Because being a whistleblower, the treatment that people receive under this cycle of abuse is disempowering, and it's deliberately done to be so. Someone
watching this now,
I
mean, if there's no particular Isle of Man version of this to go to, you are happy to look at an Isle of Man case?
Oh my goodness, we're delighted. We speak to people from Nigeria, from the Philippines, from all over the world, and while we don't know everybody's legal system inside out, we know somebody who does. I work with, I'm a director of the Symposium of International Economic Crime over at Jesus College, and from that we have lots of connections all around the world.
So go to your website?
Go to our website, yes, it's wbuk.org, and if you want to find more about the work that we're doing with the All Party Parliamentary Group in Westminster, it's APPG, whistleblowing.co.uk. Sorry for that.
Right.
It's quite a mouthful, but yes, absolutely.
And you're going to come back again, so we'll pick up on this and see what developments have happened.
Yeah, absolutely. I look forward to what the Select Committee come up with, reading their report and coming back to do a conference if somebody comes forward to help sponsor it. And I'm here on the phone or through the emails for anybody who'd like to contact me. So if you want to blow your whistle, do so. Thank you.